Alright. You can ignore the x squared and the y squared. Just think of it like we did linear. Which variable do you think it would be easier to cancel out? The x, looking at their coefficients, or the y? I would say the y. This is y. What can 3 and 4 both go into? 12. What can 2 and 3 go into?
6.
And 6 is smaller, so probably easier to deal with. What do I need to multiply this by to change it to a 6?
3.
Good. And what do I need to multiply this by to change it to a 6?
-2.
Why -2?
You want to cross out.
Very good. Alright, so Darian, tell me all of these first terms multiplied by 3.
9x squared. 5y.
Try it one more time. Remember, we're multiplying, not adding.
6y.
Good. Equals? Alright. Camden, tell me all of these multiplied by -2, the next one.
Negative 8x squared minus 6y squared equals negative 96.
She correct? Alright. Now we do what with them?
Cross out 6.
Yes, by adding them together. So tell me what I'd have here.
X squared.
Equals 105 minus 96.
9.
Very good. Just 3?
Plus or minus.
Yes. So x from here is 3 or -3. Because it's square root, it's got to be plus or minus. So to find our y's, we just plug it in to either one of the originals. And which one would y'all like to do? Top. Okay. So I'm plugging in to this top equation 3 for x this time. So 3 times 3 squared plus 2y squared, because we don't know what y is, equals 35. Again, I just took this 3, plugged it into x right here for this equation. So 3 squared, 9 times 3, good, plus 2y squared equals 35. How do I solve for y? Good, so 2y squared equals 8. Then I divide by 2 and get 4, so y equals, yes, y equals 2 or -2. And that's for when x equals what? Yes, that's for when x equaled 3. So we have 2 answers right here, and we're about to get how many more? Yes, using x equals -3. Because that was our other one right over here. Y'all want to use the same equation? Okay, so we got 3 instead of positive 3, -3 squared plus 2y squared equals 35. Now stop right here. Yes, so once you realize that when you square this, it's still going to give you what? 9. So you're still going to get what for your answers? Yes, 2 and -2. Everybody see that? So we have 4 solutions for this one. And our solutions are 3 and 2. 3 and what? -2. Also we have -3 and 2 and -3 and -2. We have 4 solutions. That means they touch in 4 places on the graphs.
Would it still give you the same answer if you use the other equation?
Yes. I'll give you the same thing. Doesn't matter which equation you use. Questions about that? Alright, one more together. Does it matter if y'all want to do B and C, or can we just go in order? Okay. Which letter would be easy to cancel out?
Y.
Of course, because they're already the same, but we just need to change one to what?
Negative.
So can I just change the y to negative? So I can just change this one. No. I have to change all of them. So I'm going to change this to -x squared, -y squared, -10. And I'm going to mark out that one. Why did I do the bottom one?
I was trying to shoot.
Oh, you can use the top one if you'd like. Alright, now let's add them. So Abigail, 4x squared minus x squared is going to give us what?
It's going to give us number 3x.
Try one more time. 4 minus 1.
Negative x. I mean 3x.
Yes, very good. Alright, Colby, the next term after y squareds cancel out is going to give us what? Very good. How do we solve for x? And so x squared equals 1. So what does x equal? Yes, positive 1 and negative 1. Because you have to take the square root of both sides. Alright, which equation do y'all want to use? The original or the one we changed?
We can keep on,
Okay.
Illustrates.
Which one?
Original.
Okay. X squared plus y squared equals 10. This is probably easier to use because it doesn't involve a bunch of negatives. I'm going to plug in 1. So 1 squared is what?
1.
Plus y squared equals 10. Good. We subtract 1, we get y squared equals 9. So y equals what?
3 and 3.
Very good. Do I have to plug in negative 1?
No.
No, it's going to be the same thing. How many solutions am I going to have?
4.
4. Tell me one of them.
Negative 1, 3.
Okay. Another one?
Negative 1.
Negative 1, negative 3. Another one?
1, 3, and 1, negative 3.
Yes. That's it. Questions on that? Alright, you're working C on your own. Let me know if you need help. If you get something that's not a square root, like a perfect square, you've done something wrong. This should be a nice answer. So this one's smaller. So we want to make both of these be 6. That's why we multiply that by 3 and that one out. So this one, we can either make both of these be what? 4 by 3. 2. Which one? Okay. So we just need to multiply this by what here? That's it? Did you subtract 4 from 31? And then 6. Oh, this is why. That's why. So we need the lines from this. Okay.
Except this is part of the community, multiplied it by 4. And 31 times 4, 124. No, we did 31 times 4. Oh, never mind. Sorry. Subtract 7.
Okay,
I think you added them. You didn't. You forgot to negative 7.
yeah, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Now that just over here. And is it the same? Because it's already 4. Then add them together. Raise your hand if you're done with this one. Okay, I'll give y'all a few more seconds. And we'll go over it. I'm going to go ahead and write the answers up here in case you want to check them. Keep going, Jana. These were the answers for that one. Alright, questions about this one? Do we need to go over it? Yes, no? Everybody's good? Yes, okay. Did y'all cancel out the y or the x?
The y.
Okay, so we'd have to multiply this one by what?
Multiplied by my 4.
Alright, go ahead and tell me what that would be.
12 is squared. 4y squared equals 124.
1 what?
24.
Okay. And then I'm going to write this one on top. Alright. Alyssa, what would I get when I add these two equations together? Oh, gotcha. Equals? Somebody help her out.
117.
Good. When you divide, it's going to be what? And so x equals 3 or negative 3. Good. Questions about that part? If you did it the other way, you should have gotten like 13 y squared equals 52, and that's where you got 4. Alright, plugging these back in, I'll just use the top equation. So instead of x squared, I can write 9 because 3 squared is 9. So 9 minus 4 y squared equals negative 7. All you would do is subtract the 9, which would give you. Good. Then divide by what? So y squared equals. And so y equals 2 and negative 2. Alright, y'all feel good about elimination? Pretty good? It is, sometimes. Alright, flip it over. We're still doing elimination, but as you can see, it's like in different forms. It's not in standard form, so the only thing you have to do is make sure they're both in standard form. Which equation is in standard form, 1 or 2? 2. How do we make this one in standard form? Subtract x squared. Good. So when I do that, tell me how it would be, the new equation. Let's write it in the correct order. plus y equals 5. Good. And again, that's just from subtracting the x squared over here. That's why it's negative. Everything else stays the same. We're doing elimination. Do I have to change anything? Yes, no? What can cancel out right now? Yes, so I don't have to change anything. Can I add these two? Because they have different what? Yes, so tell me how I would write that. Yep, just as you see it. What about the other side? Yes. How do I solve for y? Subtract it, but yes. I got you. Then what? Which is going to be what? One of them's got to be negative. The 5's negative. Good. Because 6 minus 5 is 1, positive 1. So y is and 5. Good. Alright. Now I'm going to plug both of these in. Notice you have to plug in both of these because it's not like last time where it's the same number. So pick a equation you want to use. First one, second one? Okay. So we have, I'm going to plug in negative 6 first. So negative 6, I'm going to use this equation.
I would like you to change.
Too late. So I plugged negative 6 in for y here. Kept the x squared and the plus 5. Miles, what would I do for here to solve for x?
Negative 6.
Yes.
Would you add it? Subtract it?
Quit telling him. We're trying to get, yes, we're trying to get x by itself. What do we need to get rid of?
Negative 6.
It's already on the other side.
Negative plus 5.
Yes, so how do we get rid of it?
Subtract 5.
Yes. Alright, negative 6 minus 5 equals,
X squared.
what happens? It's not only not a perfect square, it's what? It's imaginary. Right? Because if we take the square root of negative 11, the negative's going to make it I square root of 11, right? Well, this is about graphs, about like where graphs touch or meet. On our graphs, do we see imaginary numbers? No. So this point does not exist. It does not cross on the plane. So we can stop there, and we can also mark out y equals negative 6. Because we have an imaginary number when we plug negative 6 in for y. So it's not on the coordinate plane, doesn't cross.
So you're only going to have two things, coordinates.
One coordinate point, an x and a y. I think that's what you were saying. Well, let's check. We don't know yet. We got to plug it in. Alright, so we're going to plug in 5 in for y now. So we get 5 equals x squared plus 5. Subtract the 5, so we get x squared equals what? Square root of 0? Can it be plus or minus? Nope. What's our only solution here?
0, 5.
Very good.
Okay.
So if you get an imaginary answer, you can just stop there. It's not going to be on the graph.
Is that going to be on this graph?
An imaginary stuff like this? Maybe.
Where'd you get the 5 from?
The 5 came from when we solved it over here. Alright. Do we need to do one more together, or are y'all good on your own? Okay. Do D on your own.
You said D.
Yes. Next one. plugged it in, it gave you an imaginary number.
Yeah, okay, she's my name.
Yeah.
3.
I don't know why I like scribbled it out. There's no telling. Alright, the solution's up there, 0, 3. Do I need to go over this one? You should have got y equals 3 and y equals negative 4, but when you plug it back in, it's going to be imaginary. Do I need to go over this? Y'all good? Do we need to do another one like this, or y'all feel comfortable? Okay, flip it over. Now we're going to put it to a word problem. Alright, talking about farming. Does anybody want to read this out loud for me? Go ahead, Antonio.
A farmer has 36 yards of fencing to build an enclosure.
Alright, stop there. 36 yards of fencing to build an enclosure. 36 yards enclosing something. Is that talking about area, perimeter? Perimeter. Good. Put perimeter beside here. Because it's the fencing around something. Go ahead, Antonio.
Some of this fencing is to be used to build an internal divider.
Yep.
If he likes to enclose 54 square yards.
Stop. Alright, if he likes to enclose 54 square yards, that means inside. So that's talking about what? Area. Good. Go ahead.
What are the dimensions of the enclosure?
Dimensions is talking about what? Length and width. Good. Dimensions. Okay. So dimensions is talking about finding x and y. Alright, so let's write down what we do know on the picture. What can we call this side? Even though it's not labeled. Y. What about this side? What about this side? Same thing as what? Y. Same length, right? Alright, we're going to create two equations. One for the perimeter, one for the area. Okay, and let's let x be length, y be width. Tell me the equation I could create for perimeter. What would that look like? Almost. You just said x and y. That's only two sides. Remember, we're not multiplying them. Let me write it like this. X plus x plus y plus y plus y equals what? I just added up all the sides. That's how you find perimeter, right? Adding all the sides equals what? 36. That's the perimeter. We can clean that up though.
Will the third y count if this is an internal divider?
Yes. We still have to put a fence right here.
Wait.
It's not x squared. X plus x is what?
2x.
Oh.
Plus what?
31.
Equals?
36.
Alright, there's our first equation. Does everybody understand how we got that?
Sort of. Yep, I got it.
Next is area. Okay? And the area of the entire thing, not just pieces of it, is going to be what?
54.
Okay, so the area of the entire, I don't know what you call this, a garden, is going to be what?
Equal 54.
Alright, how do we write it though?
Same way?
Area is, how do we find area of a rectangle? Length times width, so it's going to be x times y equals what? 54. Very good. Alright, now we have to pick either substitution or elimination. Now you can see we can't use elimination on this one. We're going to have to use substitution. Okay? So we either have to solve for x or y. I would probably use this one. And doesn't matter which letter, they'll be easier to solve for. Y'all want to solve for x or y? Okay. So if we're solving for y for this equation, we have to do what? Divide by x. We need to get rid of the x. So y would be what? 54 over x. Good. So we've solved for y. We need to plug this in for what? Y into the other equation, which was this one. So tell me how to rewrite that. 2x
Plus 3
equals,
36.
very good. I'm going to write this as 3 over 1. Just change it to a fraction. When I multiply fractions, I multiply straight across. So what's 3 times 54?
162.
It's going to be 162 over what? X. Everybody good so far? Alright, I'm going to write all of these over 1 so we can have all the same fractions. We need to get the x out of the bottom, right, so we can solve for it. So how do we get a common denominator? How do we get x out of the bottom?
Oh, the reciprocal.
Multiply by what? Yes, common denominator is x, so we're going to multiply everything by x. So first, what is 2x times x? Good. What's x and x going to do here? Yes, so it won't be on the bottom anymore. What's going to be left? Just 162. On this side, what's 36 times x? Very good. Now it's looking like we can solve this thing. Now you subtract 36x. And where should I put that? In the middle. Good. Alright, to make our lives easier, we can do what here? Very good. You own it today, Antonio. What will we get when we divide by 2? Minus 18. Somebody said it. 18x plus 81. Now it's easy to factor. We're just finding factors of what? 81 that can add to get, so negative 9 and what?
9 and negative 9?
Both
No,
negative?
9 and 9.
Yes. So x is what? 9. Very good. That means the length of one of the sides is 9. We just have to find the width. And what would be easiest to plug this into? I would say this one that we've already solved for. So we plug it back in here. So we get y equals 54 over 9. So y is, very good. So we have found x, we have found y.
Miss Horton.
Yes.
Hey, did Logan's daughter make it in?
Yes, he was just starting.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Alright. Monday, when you come in, you'll have a checkpoint on this stuff. And you can either do substitution or elimination. We'll start there. Got to pack up.